Okay, so welcome back to another video from Tech and Gaming Reviews. Now, in this video, we are going to be talking about this incredible TV that is the Samsung QN90A. And I'm going to talk about all of the positives with this TV and then a couple of the negatives that we have. But a large majority of what we're going to be talking about this TV is mostly positive. So this is the Samsung QN90A. This is last year's model of the new QLED series, and this is Samsung's flagship 4K of 2021. So there's actually a lot to look forward into getting this TV. Now, this TV is no longer available in stores, so if you want to get this particular model, you're going to have to go with the QN90B, which is essentially basically the same TV, but there is downfalls and there's upgrades when going from the 90A to the 90B. And one of the upgrades that you get with the QN90B over the QN90A is you actually get 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. Now, the QN90A only has 1. But what is a plus that falls short from the Q90B that the Q90A has is that the contrast is slightly better. So the contrast from ratings.com, it was only able to go up to, with local dimming turn on, it was only managed able to get up 19,000 to 1 for infinite contrast. Now, the QN90A, however, can go up to 26,000, a 26,000 number in contrast, which that might not sound like a big difference, but when you really think about it, it kind of is, because that is literally like 7,000 bigger number that you're getting with contrast than what you would be getting on the QN90B. So this TV might only have one HDMI 2.1 port compared to the 90B only having all of them being 4 of them. The TV does have better contrast than the QN90B. And actually, that's actually what we like. We actually like the better picture. Now, essentially what you would get with the QN90B, or not QN90B, I mean to say, what you essentially would get with HDMI 2.1 is you would get 4K at 120 FPS. And now, as you can see down below, there is my PlayStation 4 Pro, and we have an Xbox One X, and then over here are the new consoles that can take advantage of 4K 120 hertz. But is it really a deal breaker? That some people have been wondering. As you can see, right there is our PS5. We don't have the stand that came with it because we actually bought this PS5 off of somebody that owned it, and apparently they lost the stand. But it's actually not that bad when you honestly look at it when sitting down without the stand. And then below, as you can see, we have our Xbox Series X. And honestly, gaming on this TV is going to be so smooth, and personally, the HDMI 2.1 is not really a big deal at this point. I mean, just being able to get 120 FPS is honestly great, and there are several games that can take advantage of 120 FPS on both of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. But however, large majority of the games do not. You either have to lower the resolution down to like 1440p or 1080p, or the games just have it built into them. Like if you want performance on 120 hertz, it will most likely lower the resolution down to 1080p or 1440p. But this TV, however, has only one HDMI 2.1 port, but all the others are basically 2.0, and you could still, like I said, you will still get a 120 hertz at 1080p or 1440p, And to an extent, that's actually really good for most hardcore and casual gamers out there. Now, the TV also has a quick response time. So if you game with you gaming on this TV and you turn it in on game mode, immediately you can already tell from the video the screen is very, very bright. This is definitely one of the best overall bright TVs I have ever owned. And the Samsung QN90A with its brightness capabilities looks insanely good. And I'm not lying, like it straight up looks that good. And this is just a step below the OLED series. And this TV manages to get very, very close to an OLED picture, but it's still not quite there. It's still not quite to OLED. So if you were wondering if the Samsung QN90A was a good TV for gaming, I have to honestly give you the answer and to let you know, yes, and also just to be aware, there might be an ambulance that you might be hearing here in a second going past here. But the TV absolutely does everything good when it comes to gaming. You get a really fast response time, awesome input lag, and great picture quality, as well as great HDR and all of that good stuff. And the ambulance, as you probably just heard, just went by. But you get awesome HDR with this TV, and I'm telling you, you are going to be shocked if you were to get this TV. Now, if you decide to get the QN90B instead, which because it is the current model of the QN90 series from Samsung, it's still going to look almost basically identical to this TV. Now, our unit that we have right here, we've only had it for 3 months, and we got Samsung Tech coming out to repair it. There is a slight issue with our unit, but from just by playing on it and not noticing the issue from backing away or just playing a game and not even paying attention of the issue, this TV definitely does a lot of stuff great. And the response time of input lag is at 10 milliseconds at all resolutions at 60 hertz, and even 4K 120 or basically 120 hertz at all resolutions, it's down to 5 milliseconds almost. So you definitely are getting a lot for the buck when it comes to this TV, and especially the QN90B. So the QN90A, honestly, how would I rate it? Well, I have to honestly give it a 9 out of 10. Just because the picture quality is so good. It's got killer brightness. The HDMI 2.1, only having one of those, is probably the only downfall I would say with this TV. But when it comes to the contrast and the picture quality, the colors and the input lag that you get with this TV and the gaming, and then also the HDR bright highlights, you're not going to find a TV as good as this one, especially when it comes to killer brightness and awesome killer colors and whatever. So the Samsung QN90A, like we mentioned in the beginning of the video, it is a last year model from 2021 of Samsung's flagship 4K TV before their 8K lineup, and there's quite a lot of good positives. Now, like I said, the contrast on this one over the new 2022 model is the contrast is slightly better on this one. That is the one up with the QN90A over the QN90B. But the downgrade is that the QN90A only has one HDMI 2.1 port. But most of you probably out there probably will not care, because most games that can play 120 hertz on console, you either have to lower the resolution down to either 1440p or 1080p at 120 hertz, and this TV definitely does support all of those resolutions and frame rate options. It supports 1440p at 60 hertz and also 1440p at 120. And we did manage to get the PS5 update earlier this year that finally allows 1440p support. So if you have a PlayStation 5 and you're wanting to play a game like Call of Duty that can play at 120 hertz, well, you will be able to do that, especially at 1440p resolution now on the PlayStation 5. So the Samsung QN90A, honestly, this TV is remarkable. It is incredible. It's got wonderful picture quality, and honestly, like the killer brightness and the color gamut and the clean, sharp detail that it gives you. Honestly, this TV is just incredible. It's probably our best TV that we literally have ever bought. So, yeah. So just leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below of our review of the Samsung QN90A 2021 model TV, and leave us your thoughts down in the comment section. Let us know if you got this TV, or if you got the QN90B, or whatever TV that you got, or if this helped you out of possibly getting the QN90A of wherever it's still available for, or possibly getting the QN90B. So just leave us your thoughts down in the comment section down below of your thoughts for this review of the QN90A, if you got this TV, or if you're looking forward to getting a new one like the QN90B. So yeah, just leave us a comment down in the comment section down below. Subscribe if you guys are new to this channel, and we will be sure to keep you all posted with future content going forward. And also be sure to hit the like button if you enjoy this content. But without any further ado, this is Tech and Gaming Reviews. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Rate, comment, subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.